Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Unit 13 Review. Remember to show all of your steps. It says to find the mean, median, modes, and range of the data. Now, when we're given a large group of information like this, the first thing we talked about is writing it in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite all of the information down in order. Okay, how many numbers do we have altogether? We should have a total of 8. So when I'm finding the mean or the average, you want to add up all of those numbers individually. So 13 plus 14 plus 14 plus 14 plus 16 plus 17. Okay, and we get 122 over 8. We want to divide that by 8, and we get 15.25. And when we're working with average, we want to round that, so we get a total of 15.3. Okay, mode, so mean is also the average. Mode is the number you see the most. So I see 3 14s and 3 17s, and it is okay to have 2 modes. Alright, to find the middle or the median, let's write that down so we remember that it's the middle. We're going to start crossing them out. So 13 and 13, we're working backwards. 14 and 17, 14 and 17, and then what we're left with is we take the average of that. So 14 plus 16 divided by 2. Some of you guys also might be able to just look at it and be like, well, dude, the middle number, it's 15. Okay? And the last thing we do is for the range is you take the lowest and the highest and you subtract them, and you get the range of 4. All right. Probability. What is the probability that the spinner stops on a multiple of 6? So we're doing probability of multiple of 6. Well, the multiples of 6 are 6, 6, 12, 24, and 36. So there's a possibility of 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or not 6. Mr. Grice needs to learn how to add. Okay, 5. Reduce the fraction, and then tell me what it is as a decimal. Okay? Alright. What is the probability that the spinner stops on a multiple of 4? So, the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 24, and 36. Okay, so once again, there are 5 numbers, so it's 0.5. Alright, number 4, what is the probability that the spinner stops on a 4 or a 10? I'm emphasizing the word for or because or tells us that we need to add. So the probability of getting a 4 would be 1 out of 10. And a 10, there's only 1/10. So if we need to add those two together, we get 2 out of 10, which reduces to 1/5. And as a decimal, you should get 0.2. All right, number 5, odds. What are the odds in favor of stopping of a number greater than 3? So just remember that in favor We want the wanted on the top and the unwanted on the bottom. So a number greater than 3. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, just 9. Okay. So I got 9, and there's only one number that's not, and you would write that as a phrase, 9 to 1. Okay? Now the next one we're doing odds against. Okay? And that's the exact opposite, where you want your unwanted on the top and your wanted on the bottom. So what are the odds against the spinner stopping on an odd number? Well, the odd numbers, there's only 1. And that's what we want. So that's on the bottom, and then everything else is on the top. So that's why that one is also 9 to 1. Okay. Number 7 through 12, it says evaluate each expression, write the answers as reduced fractions if necessary. No decimals. Okay, so when we're doing problems like this, I know we can just do them in the calculator and be like, well, this is it. Okay, we're going to do this step by step. So 8 factorial is 4320 plus 4 factorial, which is 24. And when you add those together, you get 40,344. Okay? Now, 3 factorial is 6 times the factorial of 5, which is 120, and then 6 times 120 gives us 720. Okay? Now, for problems like number 9, when you do 25 factorial, whoa, you get this big number. So in a problem like that, you can put them all together. Okay? And you get 1 over, or not 1 over 600, I mixed those numbers up. I just did 23, or I just did 10. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry guys. Mr. Grice is all mixed up. You get 600. Okay? But now, for some of you guys, you might be able to do this in your head, where if we were to write it out, and that keeps on going, over the bottom part, well, that's 23, 22, dot, 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 dot. If you notice, all of those are going to cross out, and you're just left with 25 times 24. And, well, what do you know? That's 600. That's where that number comes from. Okay? And now we just talked about 23. The 23 factorial divided by the factorial of 25. And remember, no decimals. Okay? So you need to know how to change that to a fraction. Okay? And that would be the exact opposite of number 9, where the 25 and the 24 would actually be on the bottom. Okay? Now, for 11 and 12, you need to know this right here. Okay? You gotta know the formulas. Okay? Because while you can just plug it straight into your calculator and get the right answer, we're requiring some work. We want to see that you know how to do that. Where, let's see, we would write the 11 would come on the top, and we would get 11 minus 7 and then 7. Okay? So the work that we would want to see would be that right there. Okay, this is what we got to see. And now from there, you can just plug the original thing into your calculator and get the answer of 330. Okay, because no matter which way you do it, if you do 11 factorial, and if you're going to divide it out, just make sure you use parentheses, otherwise order of operations is going to do something else first. Okay? Okay, now, it's the same with the permutation, where the 10 goes on top, and you need to do the 10 minus 5, where you would get the 10, 5, okay? We want to see that step right there, okay? That's showing your work, and then you can get your answer by going 10, was it 2, 5, of 30,240, okay? All right, let's flip it over. For number 13, refer to a bag containing the following markers. All right, we got 3 black, 2 blue, 1 green, 6 red. Thing that we need to know is total, and that total is 12. Okay, so what is the probability, there we go, that the first marker is blue and the second marker is red? And here we go, it is not returned after you grab it. Okay, so the probability of getting the blue is 2 out of 12. Okay, but now the probability of getting a red would be 6 out of 11. Okay, now keyword here, and means to multiply. So 2 out of 12 times 6 out of 11, 12 on the top, 12 times 11 is 132. I need to simplify that fraction. There's my decimal, which I'm going to need in a second. But that is 111, and that reduces to 0.09. Okay? Now, what is the probability that the first marker and the second marker are both black? Okay? And we're still talking about and. And the next thing to know is that it is returned, okay? So the probability of getting a black would be 3 out of 12. And then the second time you do it, it's still 3 out of 12. So multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 12 times 12 is 144. Go ahead and reduce that fraction where you get 1/16. And divide that out. 0.06. Alright, the last 4, we have to tell whether we're going to use factorial, combination, or permutation. Okay? Now, things to know. Factorial is when they only give you one number. Combination, order does not matter. In permutation, order matters. Okay? And you have to read these to understand them. Alright? So why don't you pause, try to go through all of them, see if you can figure it out, and then we'll go through them once you're done. Okay? Good luck. Now make sure you actually pause it and try it, guys. Don't just wait for the answers. Number 14. Does order matter? Hopefully you read it, because order does not matter here. Okay, that means we're doing NCR. So 11C5. On the top is an 11. There's the formula N minus R. That's where I'm getting that 6 from. And then the 5. Plugging that in, we have 11 NCR 5, which, oop, it would help if I put in the right numbers, right guys? 11 NCR 5, you get 462. Okay, number 5, you have 5, how many different ways can you do 6 songs? They only give us that one number. So 6 factorial. So there are 720 different ways that you can arrange those songs. Okay? Number 16, in a race, the 5 fastest runners. Okay, we're talking about a race. Okay, anytime we're talking about a race, order matters. So we're doing permutation. Okay? Let's see. In a race, the top 5 fastest run from a group of 10. And then the other is 5. And remember that the formula for this is n minus r. So we got 10 on the top, and then 10 minus 5 is, whoop, 5. Okay, so we're just going to do 10 NPR 5. Okay, so 30,200, I think it's 40. Yep. 40 ways that those 5 people can finish. Okay, Monique is going on a vacation and is packing her clothes. Now she's packing her clothes and she selects 3. All 3 of those are going on her trip with her. Does the order matter? Nope. So we're doing a combination. Okay, she has a total of 10 shirts. She only wants 3. Okay, so 10 on the top. 10 minus 3 is 7, and then we write 3. Remember, this is the work that you have to show on your quiz or on your test tomorrow to get the proper, all the points, okay? So 10, combination, 3, and we get 120. Okay, and the last one, a tennis team has 8 players and is going to choose a captain and assistant captain. Does order matter for this? Yeah, because you're either the captain or the assistant. So we're doing a permutation. We have a total of 8. Well, what's the part? Well, that's the captain and the assistant captain, which is 2. Okay? So the 8 goes on the top. 8 minus 2 is 6. And then if we were doing this and figuring it out, write the number that's there, which is 2. You get 56. Okay? And this is one that we could actually do in our heads, because if you were to write out the permutation, or the factorial for 8, and the factorial for 6, know which ones you can cross out, you're left with 8 times 7, and you get 56. Okay? Well, that's it for Algebra 1, Unit 13 review. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, good luck on your upcoming test.